Good afternoon, YouTubers, and any newcomers to this video that picked up on it from the title, Window Tinting for Beginners. So I'm out here in the third world, and access to tools or common sense is not easy to come by. So today I drove 140 kilometers into Chiang Mai City to get the windows tinted on my Ford Escort, because even though I've actually run a tinting business for 17 years, I couldn't be bothered to do it myself. So after a 3-hour drive into town this morning, I was told by one tint shop, "No, we can't do it, you've taken the windows out. We can't tint them with the windows out." So after recovering from face palming myself, I went to another tint shop. Oh, the reason I went to the other tint shop was the first tint shop tried to charge me 3 times the UK price, something like 400 quid. So I knew they were taking a piss out of me because I'm a foreigner. So we went to the next shop, and their price was exactly half for the same film. So I knew we were getting somewhere with them, but then they come up with the same thing. "Oh no, we can't tint it because it doesn't have the rubber on the window." And I couldn't really work out what their problem was until I realised what they're saying is, without the rubber being on the window, they were saying they didn't know where to cut the film. Well, I'm not sure if you're going to pick it up in this light, but there's a tide mark all the way around all the windows which tells you where the rubber fitted. So basically you just cut the film inside of the tide mark and then you don't get any edges. But anyway, I could go on about that for several days. What I'm going to do instead is just try and tint this back window. Now I'm actually using 3M film, which I've never used before. Each and every brand of film has its own way of being worked, and quite often you can't cross the brands. I'm a Suntech man. I've been using Suntech for the whole 15 years, except when I had to downgrade to lower quality film just to keep the assholes happy who wanted a skilled professional job done for no money. Well, they drove the price down so low in the end that I just stopped tinting altogether. There's now people in England boasting about doing 10 to 15 cars a week, and they're actually earning the same money as I was earning for doing 5 cars a week. It's a bit of a stupid brag if you ask me. But anyway, I digress. Here's a selection of the tools we'll need. A litre bottle of very clean filtered water, but I've only got that. In this litre bottle, which this isn't, you need to add exactly 4 drops of baby shampoo. Baby shampoo because there's no salt, there's no chemicals, there's no additives. It can't attack the film. I have no idea what this soap is. It's just soap, and I know it's got salt in it, so I'm already onto a loser right from the get-go. After that, you need some baby powder, a brand new blade. Do not use a second-hand one. The edge burrs over and it will scratch the glass. I like to have 2 knives, one for cutting around the film and the other one for doing something else. I like to keep 2 different colour rags. Lint free, of course, but here I've only got 1 colour. T-shirts with loads of lint falling out. You need a window scraper for getting the water off, which this isn't. This is a different card, but this is the only one I've got, and it's got a soft rubber edge, so I'm going to have to use that. Sponges are sponges, so I do have a sponge. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty now. Applicator cards. I generally use a gold card. That's a 3M. I think my cat wants part of this video. What do you want? Do you want to do this? Come on, you might as well do something. You eat for free. Oh, that's a no then. Right, I generally use a gold card. The different colours denote different hardnesses. And what I do is wrap it in a lint-free piece of cloth. But I've only got a t-shirt. So here we go. We're going to attempt to shrink the film on the back window. This could be fun. Now, before you start, you want to get your window spotlessly clean. I have got a metal mark on there where some metals rubbed against the window. Generally, those are on the inside from prams and aluminium things that people put on the back parcel shelf. When you tint a window with a mark on the window like that, it shows up like a shining beacon. So bad that I've had loads of people say to me, that mark wasn't there before you did my car. You've effed my car up. No, mate. Things only show up when you tint them. Actually, I had someone who had the word wanker scratched into his window with the keys, and it didn't show up until I tinted it. There's nothing I can do about that, mate. I didn't write it. So anyway, we've started off by cleaning the window. Now we want to get the window absolutely spotlessly dry. So the last thing you do is put a load of baby powder on it. Now that's what we're going to do. The baby powder will pick up on any dried soap or other crap on the window. Now this is why I use different coloured rags, because I wouldn't normally want to get this rag mixed up with another rag, because it's going to have dust on it. So clean your window down. Carefully around the edges. That looks a bit soapy there. You actually want this window to glide. The other thing was, they measured all my windows and it came to like 16, 18 feet of film. So they went off out the back and then came back with each individual piece cut to each individual size. It doesn't work like that. If you just take it off the roll, oversized, if you make a mistake when you're shrinking, you can move the film about and rescue it. Now, I've got to work with what I've got. Any mistakes and I'm nailed. So, the first thing you want to do is find out which side is liner up or down. Liner is the clear protective film which covers the glue. You can work on the liner without scratching the actual film. And what I'm doing is grind my teeth together over it until the liner shows up from the inner. And that's also why I whistle a lot. On my videos, you probably hear me all the time. Well, 17 years of grinding film between your teeth has mucked my teeth up. Anyway, liner up. This is a 50% light film because I don't want black film on a classic car. Right, got a little bit of overlap. Always put the film on the outside of the window because you can cut the film to the outside, but you can't shrink it to the inside because you're trying to push it into a small space. Just hold the edge of the glass, run the film along, or run the blade along. Right, check your width. The blades need to be brand new for this. Check your width. Quite often the film will slide. A general size to begin. If the scraps are bigger, you might use them on something else. Just get out of the way. Right, so, whoops, we want to, don't go right around the corner, just kind of go to the corner. So you've got that side cut, and the top's roughly cut. Now, if you slide this over to exactly where your dirty line is from your window rubber, that's twice the actual overlap you need. And slice it off along the edge of the glass. Go straight down, don't go around. Now if you bring that back, you'll see now you've got a couple of mil line there, and you've got a couple of mil line there. Now the thickness of the glass will also mess that line up, so when you put it on the inside you may find you're still a little bit oversized. Grip your glass, make sure these two are both 50-50 now. Grip your glass, slowly cut your top one in. Just whoops, pinch the film flat as you go, otherwise it will jump and then you'll get that. Just check you haven't gone off. Nope, still on. You can fine tune this at the end. You basically want the shrinkage bit first. Actually, yeah, I'm just thinking I should leave some overlap here for mistakes, but no, I'm just going to go for it. So, see, that's part of your corner there, that's why you don't cut around, otherwise you cut it too short. So come back here. On square glass you don't get this, but this has got a heavy curve on it. So, bonded glass in a car is quite a lot easier. Don't throw film all over the floor. It's like glass. Well, sorry, it's like ice. And you will come across her. Right, float your window, or float your film, into where you're going to put it. And just finish off the corners by hand. When you shrink it, they will lose a little bit of size, so it doesn't matter if you're oversized. Oh, excuse me. So now, don't fold this stuff sharply because it damages easily. It's been quite some time since I've tinted anything. Gently roll that up, keep it out of the dirt. Remember which way up it went. Now for the fun bit, we're going to have one more powder down with my powdered rag. You don't want too much powder, but at the same time, you probably can't pick that up on the video, but there's a lot of soapy marks there, and the film will stick to those marks. You want the film to glide on the glass for the next bit. So, load some washing up liquid or some baby shampoo down the center. Get your sponge nice and fatty. You want a nice fatty mix there. Fire your hot air gun up. Hot air guns too, you need to learn how to use them. Each one acts differently. This one's rubbish. I only use Bosch. And like I said, I'm not home now, I'm somewhere else. Right, fatty mix. Straight across the middle, down each end. So one fat band down the middle and a fatty bit across the back. Wipe your hand. Absolutely dry-ish. Pick your film up. Remember your liner. He says. And it takes a bit of practice to get that. Liner up. Film down. Drop your film on the window. Pretty much. Right. To your gold card. And don't wipe the water out. Go along at an angle just to tamp the film down, but don't wipe all the water out. When you get to the ends, just tamp the end vertically up slowly and vertically down, because what will happen now is you'll have all your fingers. That's parts of the film that aren't lying flat on the glass because the glass is curved. Now the next bit is entirely down to how the film works. You're probably not going to pick it up in here because of the light. Not much I can do about that. And like I said, I've never used this film before, so I've no idea how it's going to react. So basically just start to warm it. Bring the film down a bit. Warm it. Bring the film down a bit. The soap actually pins the film to the glass, but you're warming the dry part. It just starts to shrivel up and shrink, and as it does you just pull it down a little bit. Work it evenly. You don't want to get in too tight and you don't want to go on too hard because you'll just melt it. Can you get that in the light there? Don't force on the scraper hard as well, you'll mark the film. Not from the liner side, but from the underneath. Right, so as we get to the end, I can see horrible amounts of dirt in this water, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to put this on. Not until I've done something about the water quality. So, can you see the fingers? As you put the film on, don't forget to do the ends, because the ends will come back on you. They'll start to come in. If you get too much soap underneath there, the film stays cool. I might have just picked up a fuck up there. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen with Suntech. This film has got a grain in it as well. What that means is the top and the bottom of the film can only be shrunk up and down. If you turn that piece of film around 90 degrees and you try to shrink up and down, it will just crease up. It will not do it. It's the way the film's constructed. Now this is a bit of a delicate film, I can see now by the way this is trying to go wrong on me. Also, don't work the same area for too long. Once the film's got some sort of heat in it, it becomes soft. And will mess up a lot easier. You see that there? You see that? That's probably an eyelash. That's how critical this stuff is. Start from the middle and work out. This is not a nice... This, I would not use this at home, put it that way. Give me Suntec any day. Alright. I would have done this 5 times over now in England. Yeah, it definitely doesn't like the soap too much. As you chase it across, you'll notice it will go across so far and then it will conflict with another finger, so you want to come back the other way then, attack from a different, like that. This is not nice at all, not this. No. I'm still a Suntec man. I would have done this window 3 times over now in Suntec. Keep your fingers separated. When they get fat like that, spread them out. And keep gently walking them at a diagonal down the glass. Until they clear. You can chase them back over again. Every film will go to the point where it says no, no more. And then it will pinch. Now, on a Suntec film, that will heal itself. Yeah, I got away with that one, it healed. If you overheat the film, it will melt on the edge. You'll get a fat edge, which you'll have to cut off later. Oh, this is not nice. Eventually, some sort of Suntec user, some sort of 3M film user is going to stumble across this video and start effing and blinding. Oh, you're this, you're that. Well, mate, I made enough money tinting 4,000 cars to retire age 40. But I was using Suntec film. If I'd had to do those cars in this stuff, I'd still be working now. And I wouldn't even be halfway through them. So, horses to courses, but I know what I like. Got to be so careful, just the right amount of heat. You'd be quite careless with Suntec actually and just fire it in there. It's a lot more forgiving. Is this really taking this long? Some tight bands here. You always got to work the bands at a diagonal, don't go straight down on them. I forgot to. You need a heatproof glove. That's another thing we don't have here in the third world. Gently spoon these off. Don't push too hard on them because you never know when they're going to bite you and crease. You can, yeah, I'm hoping you can pick all this up on the camera, but I don't think you will. It's when you get towards the end of it, that's when it goes tits up, like this part here. This is not nice at all here. Film's moved it. That's my rear bumper there. So we want to bring this in away from the edge. They're really big fingers, so what we want to do is work them back towards the middle. Bring the film back in away from the outside edge. I must admit, I am working this like it's Suntec film, which is not quite the right way. And I've got a crease there, so I'm going to go away from that a minute. And what it is the film wants to curve more on the edges, so you need to try and bring it back in a bit. So slow. I won't ever use this stuff again. You can probably work quite a bit more heat into it than what I'm doing, but I'm scared of it because I've only got one piece. And if I mess it right up, I'm nailed. So, I'm now actually coming to the nasty bit here. And I got a feeling that's in there. Just keep pulling that back in. Yeah, I'm starting to get the knack with this now. I can see. Yeah, okay. A lot of heat and then let it cool a bit so it contracts. I'm a little bit too quick paddling it down. There, get your fingers. Yeah, there they go. And paddle them in a bit. It's still far longer. Don't ever try to shrink them that way. Like I said, with the grain in the film, that will end in tears. You've got to chase them around, top and bottom. Bring them right in from the edge, chase them back, in to the middle a bit. If they try to split into two, let them. See, there you go. I can remember when there was a craze for silver reflective film, and that's basically like a Kit Kat wrapper. Trying to shrink that stuff. Oh, that was worse than this. Thank God that craze died out. Right. I'm down to my nemesis here now. Just keep bringing that in just a little bit more. Always keep your cloth tight on the card, give it a twist, pull it nice and tight. And like I said, keep swiping sideways, don't go straight down on it, because it will bite you on the ass. Also, with your heat glove, you can use your fingers. If you've got your Teflon glove, which I don't have, Tell you what, regular viewers, this must be getting near to 5 o'clock. Right. Now, another thing with shrinking film is if your film goes right to the very edge or over, like that does, it will keep fingering up. It will not lie flat if it's over the edge like it is here. So if that's the case, don't keep battling away at it. What you need to do now that you've got it all lovely, release your film gently. Doing this out in the side of the road is good fun with the wind, but I did perfect a way of doing it. Soak your window down. Completely down. Stretch it side to side, not top to bottom. Slide it back to where you want it to sit. So that's uniformly all the way around. So that's there, and you will find that it's probably stretched or it doesn't sit nice anymore in some corners. So what you want to do then, fine cut the corners. And the reason I use two blades, two knives, I use one for going around the outside, which blunts the blade quickly, and then I keep another one with a pristine blade in it, which is not this one, but I'm using it now. This one is for trimming. Don't use cheap Chinese blades, use proper Japan blades only. You can cut the glass, as I remember from a Ferrari that someone brought in, and my film supplier thought he'd be clever and supply me with Chinese branded blades. I want to cut the glass. I marked it. I was not very happy with that one, I can tell you. Now, like I said, when this film goes on the inside of the window, it's going to grow because of the thickness of the window. So quite often you might need to trim it again when it's on the inside, but you want to try and get it right first time. Now I think what I'm going to do now is just pause this or stop it and then put up a part B, which is where it gets put on the window. So rock on up for part B. I'm going to go visit the fridge.